Boston, and welcome back to PAX East. My name's Tofu Elliott, and I'm here at the PAX Arena presented by DoorDash, joined up in the casters booth by none other than Ajax and Cooper. Ajax, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. Every single day up to this point has been phenomenal. It's been an event. Every single game has left us sweating and trying to get up and wonder how they won. That's going to continue today because we're moving into the Almost Pro 10K bracket final segment. You already know, Koopa, it's time for some people to try and get some big money.
Yeah, listen, championship bracket is where, diamonds are forged under pressure. We got so many great, competitors still left in the Smash bracket. We will obviously cover that and more, as it's been a very busy weekend here in the PAX Arena, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely has. Yesterday, we continued with our bracket in the Almost Pro tournament, but we also had a Pac-Man 99 event. And look, I didn't know, I should have known, because it's 2023, everything, absolutely everything is now the battleground, right?
Yes.
Like Pac-Man, you got Tetris 99, we got Pac-Man 99. I thought it was just PUBG and Fortnite, but now we've got absolutely everything. It was so much more stressful.
It was
than I thought
indeed
it was
a battle
gonna be.
royale. Like,
Yeah.
every single bit down to the wire was insane. I was not expecting the levels to be as high as it was, but, just from watching normal Pac-Man, you're too busy trying to, just get as far as you can. In that game, you're also dealing with 10,000 other obstacles, trying to keep your speed tiers up, and they did such a great job. Cleo Thomas showing up for the casters as well, because Five Up was trying to say we didn't know how to play, and guess what? The ones who came out to the broadcast booth won. So I think we got a nice dub for us in passing. We'll take claim on that one too.
Yeah, no, he's on the team for sure.
Yes.
I think just to touch on what Elliot was saying, it's just so surreal how the competitive gamescape is just always evolving. You think a game like Pac-Man, an arcade classic has been around for a long time, and now it has been thrust into this competitive circle, and it just led to such a great viewing experience yesterday. I was backstage at the edge of my seat the whole time. It was a phenomenal watch.
It really was, and I think that's what surprised me the most about it, to be honest with you, because Pac-Man, when there's one person playing, it's not too confusing, even if you don't know what's going on, right? You can see the guy's going waka waka and the ghosts are chasing him, right? It's pretty simple, but then suddenly you've got 5 people on screen, you've got 10 people playing. It's chaos everywhere. They're all sending each other different power-ups and boosts and attacking each other via the in-game strategies, and I really wasn't expecting the crowds to be able to keep up as well as they did, but you're right, I was backstage as well, and in really intense moments, everyone was going wild. It was so much fun. I really didn't expect it to be as good a viewing experience as it was, but it was really, really fun, really fun, and as you say, Cleo Thomas showing up for his team, and the content creators as captains as well did pretty well, I would say. I thought that they wouldn't be able to hold down the fort as much. Their players actually did really well to get there. But
You talk about the content creators, that's Cleo Thomas, the champion right there on the DoorDash replays, going down to the wire with some of these matches. Uncle Slam was phenomenal. J-Bob at the end was putting the team on his shoulders as best as he could. We talk about Uncle Slam right there. You pulled up the shades at the last second, and we weren't prepared for this. Wait, where did those come from? It turned out there was a little deal amongst him and Craig, and then they both ended up in the finals anyway, so they couldn't exchange hats. But between that, there was What's Up, there was all the others, and you see the bow out, but Cleo definitely held his own, and it was just a nice sight to see, especially after all the banter that started at the beginning. You love to see the pride at the end, and that arcade machine, the custom arcade coming from Arcade 1-Up. You want to be able to flex that.
Yeah, awesome stuff. As we take a look at some of our other replays from throughout the weekend, like we mentioned, there's been a Smash tournament happening all weekend, boys. And let me tell you, I've seen some stuff this weekend that I did not think I'd see. A sub 50 spike on King Dedede. Obviously, the hero from Dragon Quest, one of my favorite characters in Smash. Always a fun time to watch. And, we're obviously going to be touching on that as we move through the bracket. It has been an absolute bloodbath.
And we just saw somebody explode. Do not, as naturally intended. Speaking of also the Pac-Man play, Kiwi was out here with an incredible performance. She's been playing Pac-Man for a long time, showed up on Pac-Man Day, got to meet Pac-Man here, and then proceeded to just clear through everybody in her path. The storyline could have not played out better.
And especially for a whole show, because we had the Pac-Man 99 and Kiwi just absolutely crushing it in Smash with Pac-Man.
Namco, reach out to Kiwi. That's all we're saying.
Not confusing at all for people trying to follow at home. Lots of Pac-Man stuff going on, but now we are really down to the meat and potatoes of this weekend, and that is the Almost Pro 10K Smash event. We've been running this bracket for days now, wave after wave of players, all trying to make it to today. And
oh my God, it's me. I'm on the. Oh, you did not. Yo, wrist game on Max. You got it, bro. I saw that.
Ice cold.
Oh my goodness, we all saw that. Look, please keep your mask on in the arena, but we'll make one exception for that because that was very, very
You get the singular pass of the day. But also, it was. We're talking about how stacked this is. I have a lot of bias looking at this chart here of people who are in the top side of bracket because we are in that top 24 section. A lot of Connecticut is here. So I'm kind of happy about that. We also happen to be a state over. You know, that may be two things playing together. But you're talking about players as well in the top of the world. Looking at the very top, you see the Buzz.
The Buzz, yes. And look, this whole event is presented by DoorDash. Stay in your game with DoorDash and sign up for Dash Pass. Use code PAXE23 for 50% off your next order. That is PAXE23 for 50% off your next order. And look, we're all ordering DoorDash all weekend. 50% off is a good deal.
Yeah, listen, shout outs to the DoorDash team. Their booth has been popping all weekend. Aesthetically, looks great. The gear's been great. We're obviously wearing it. It's holding my water right now. You got a hat.
I got a hat. Yeah. What do you think? Is the aesthetic working over the headset?
I just realized there's the controller inside of the DoorDash as well.
Look, yeah, this logo is fly. This logo is absolutely fly. What do you reckon? They got the branding on lock. DoorDash, thank you very much. I appreciate the bucket hat. I don't know if this is going to stay on, but I'm getting told repeatedly in my ear, lose that hat. It doesn't work, Elliot. You can't pull it off. I'm sorry.
And like we mentioned, if you're a Dash Pass member, you can actually get a cool customized t-shirt at the booth this weekend.
Yes. It's also 0% fees and 5% credits back as well. So not only you get access to that, but also you get to save a little bit of money along the way. So big appreciation, of course, to the Dash Pass and all the Dashers themselves. All the people who have been working the staff, they've been running around everywhere all
Shout out to you guys. You guys rule.
All right, guys, I know, all right, DoorDash are great. We're all just as in love with DoorDash, but I want to talk about Smash because, aside from anything, I just didn't know that much about Smash. You know, I don't know that much about the scene and the players and things like that, but I came out to PAX West and I came out to PAX East. I mean, surprise, surprise, right? But it's been electric. The competition here, the level of competitivity, and the amount that everyone knows each other has made this just like such a fire event. It's been awesome. I want to know I want to know loads of things, but let's start here, right? The top 24 today, who should we be keeping our eye on?
So, like we said before, with there's 10K on the line, so a lot of people are going to be coming out to try and get that big prize pool. But there's a lot of regional fights going on as well. Like you said, we saw that match that showed up on the replay with Kiwi and Don. They're both two of Connecticut's best players, two of New England's best players in general. So you're going to be keeping a close eye on them as Kiwi is on the winner's side of the bracket. Don is on the lower side of the bracket by the hands of Kiwi, but was able to qualify through afterwards. And we take a little bit look at who she's going to be facing. Naito Sharp. If you press the random button, you guessed correctly on what Sharp's going to play that day. However, Sharp has been playing mostly Zero Suit Samus and some Joker, so it's kind of come down a little bit, which is smart because Sharp is incredibly talented, incredibly dangerous, but we got to bring it over to you as well for the Jersey side of things.
Yeah, like we mentioned, there's a lot of money on the line today, folks. So we're going to have a breakdown of our prizing. First place walking home with a sweet $3,000 as we take a look at how it breaks down all the way down to our 9th place competitors. And like we mentioned, you mentioned the Swiss Army knife of New England in Naito Sharp. Obviously, if you look a little bit more in the tri-state area, you got players like Jackal and the Buzz and Cosmos as well. Are all players you have to be paying attention to. This weekend. I'm looking at players in the loser side of things as well, like Exiled, Unleashed, Don, obviously, like we saw yesterday, very talented Mario main. There's just so much, there's so much top talent here, but there's also some much regional talent that you, like you said, you can't sleep on. New England as a state has always been incredibly strong.
Yes.
In Super Smash Brothers. The Northeast in general has always had some really top tier talent, and it trickles all the way down. So
I think the big match we're going to be paying attention to, Elliot, on the winner side of things, this is a surprise factor for some people too. Cosmos is out here, but Archangel has shown up playing Pichu, and that's going to be up against Pyra/Mythra. Small character, very evasive, can get through and get that recovery relatively easy. That could be a big upset potentially on the line. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Look.
Oh, man. Poor Stupid getting called out like that. Like, jeez.
good thing you got the extra life there. So,
So look, how important is character selection in this sort of thing? You know, when you've got two players matching up, does the character that they are facing off against have a really big impact on the playstyle that they will choose to use?
oh, absolutely. I think if you look at the different archetypes of characters, like you even mentioned, Archangel versus Cosmos. Shout out to the Bruins.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. They got multiple Tri-State casters up here, and you pulled the Boston Bruins. It's not working.
Best team in the league. But I think if you look at like Archangel and Cosmos, Pyra/Mythra, since they've came on the scene, they've been recognized as these really strong characters. And Pichu, at a time was a top, considered a top tier character in the game. Has fallen off a little bit, but still has that an explosive offensive kit that it can play behind. Off the drawback of, Pichu's one of the lightest characters in the game. It's really a kind of a fight against the clock sometimes. If you're playing a space animal, you're more susceptible to a combo game because you're a fast faller. Whether you're a floaty, you're able to get out of those combos. So depending on who you sit down and select, it's all, going to pay a huge difference in how the matchup's going to play.
The dangerous part about this game, too, the 89 characters that are in this cast, every single one of them has found their way to a top 32 of a stacked event of some form. That's not common in fighting games, platformers at all. And I'm going to reference one of these matchups, too. We're going to be looking at Jackal and Blitzluigi coming up after. That's going to be Wolf versus Mega Man. On paper, Wolf does extremely well against Mega Man. Mega Man can't stall out. He can't short hop. It's hard to set up zoning. But when you have a lot of matchup practice with that, you learn how to deal with those bad matchups. So it does play a factor, but it can be done. Blitzluigi's been playing against good Wolf players for a long time, primarily played against Hawk a long time in the state of Connecticut. He knows that matchup very well. Jackal, however, is a contender to make his way not just in top 20, but fight for that top 10 position in the entire world many a times over. So that skill gap could be there, but as we saw in the replays too, Blitzluigi was popping off. He was feeling very confident. He really wanted to get to this top 24 today, and here he is. So that bad matchup might not play out as much as we may think this time, but it does play a big factor.
And I just want to confirm, Luigi doesn't actually play Luigi.
No, Blitzluigi does not play. No. Okay, so let's make this clear. Like 90% of the people who play this game who have their name as one, it's a trick. Okay. My name is Super Yoshi. That is the only person I saw in those replays that actually played Yoshi. Everyone else, we see Blitzluigi plays Mega Man. Is there anybody else in here who has a name? Actually, no. Funny enough. You pointed out Unleashed as well. That's one of the strongest Soras that we have around here too. That's a character you don't fight up against too often. It's actually a good one.
Yeah. So look, backstage, we were talking about it, and I was saying, listen, I don't know that much about Smash. Like, what should I ask? And one of our production guys said, oh man, maybe talk about like what lemons are or something. And we all laughed. And then I was like, I actually don't know what that is. That's exactly what I'm going to ask. What are lemons?
Lemons is something life gives you on occasion.
It's also what Mega Man shoots out of his Mega Buster.
Yes.
So.
It is a citrus. Just don't open it too close to your eyes. That's
we're just
all I have to say.
We're just making sure the audience gets their fair share of vitamin C. It's a long weekend. Got to keep yourself healthy.
No scurvy then.
Exactly.
No scurvy on the way to Boston. All right, guys.
No.
We were talking a lot about character selection and utilizing different ones, and you mentioned Pichu, right? Are there anyone else who are using characters that you would not expect that person to be using?
If we're taking a look at this, any of the unfamiliar characters, there's a lot of strong ones, but if we go further down, if John Xenofan is still playing, actually we did see it, King Dedede is in this top 24. That is not a common character you see often, but John Xenofan has been playing King Dedede, I think since Brawl. I know definitely since Smash 4. And has been able to utilize that character in ways that people aren't used to. He's a big guy, you don't think he's going to be able to do too much, and then you're stuck on the ledge for 10 years. and you have no idea how you got there or why you can't get away, but it's that Spike Gordo that you can't get around, and then next thing you know, you're getting command grabbed, you're constantly getting tossed off stage. That's a very difficult thing to do, and if you see a really good King Dedede player in your path, you might not be happy about the outcome.
Yep, and keeping it in the heavyweight camp, Exiled also, a well-known player in the New England region, plays Bowser. Bowser, people kind of go back and forth on how good the character is. I'm of the party that think he's still really good. He's the heaviest character in the game. He's got these big, burly hitboxes. All he really has to do is hit you 6 or 7 times, and suddenly the game is completely, gotten away from you. So,
look, I have to boil this down to what we all really want to know from the experts. Who is going to be taking home the bulk of this prize money?
Okay, this is always the hardest question to ask because of how stacked this pool is. And I'm going to go to the top side of things because normally I like to pick from who might make that big losers run. I think when I'm looking at this overall today, matchup-wise and the way things lined up and the trend of how good this person has been of late, I think my money is on Cosmos this weekend. I think Cosmos has been playing phenomenally. He's really been picking it up. He's been practicing a lot more with those top players. He plays light all the time whenever they're at events. He's really been trying to get back to that, I am a top 10 threat. And I think that can happen again here today. And my money is going to go on Cosmos.
Yeah, again, I keep it in the winner side of things. It's tough. You got someone like the Buzz, triple threat with 3 really good characters. Cosmos, obviously a character specialist with one of the best characters in the game. I'm going to lean a little bit towards on my bias here. I'm going to ride with Jackal. I think Wolf is often forgotten as like a really, really good top-tier character. Has answers to almost everything. A great low percent combo game. A great, being able to KO you at a KO percentage. I'm looking to see Jackal. If he can get by, whatever Blitz is going to throw at him in the first round, then I wouldn't be surprised to see Jackal make the run today.
So Jackal and Cosmos are the predictions from our 2 casters in the booth this morning. Almost Pro is going to continue after a very short break here at PAX East in the PAX Arena, presented by DoorDash. Make sure to stay in your game and stay in the stream because we're going to be right back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere.
Get wrecked, son. Maybe this will help with the sting.
Your game's looking a bit sloppy. Here, let me help you clean that up.
Stay in your game with DoorDash.
welcome to the PAX Arena Almost Pro. We have our top 24 today. So many amazing players coming out on this stage, and so many people here in the audience watching, here to bring all of that action to you. I love listening to our intro show, hearing the talents predictions. No offense to the players they predicted, but kind of hoping they were wrong so we could all roast them later. That's all fun for us. So I want to thank everyone for being here for DoorDash, presenting the Almost Pro Open, for Omen, for our monitors up out here on stage, for Corsair, for the comfy chairs. You know, highest level of competition, you got to be sitting comfy. We have a really exciting match to open us up today. I asked our admins, it's going to be Dabuz versus Troya as our first match here on the stage. So you know what? You don't want to hear from me anymore. We want to hear the casters. We want to see these players get up here. So I'm going to send things back to our commentary desk to kick off the top 24 for the finals of the Almost Pro Open here on Saturday at PAX Arena.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, PAX East. Welcome back to the Almost Pro 10K Smash Tournament. I'm Koopa, and that's Ajax.
I am, and also I'm taking an eyebrow raise and staring at Vanessa saying, look, we believe in our picks. We have no worries. However, if one of them gets upset, you will not see me here on the desk when it comes back to this camera.
Yeah, I'm not held liable.
You cannot find me because I was just never wrong. I just knew. But I had to leave before the upset. You know, it's just what it is. But honestly, it's hard to get upsets against some of these players. See, we're talking about consistent top 10 level threats. Koopa started things off here with Dabuz, the #1 seed overall, going into top 24, going up against Troya. Dabuz has that all-around kit with the way that he plays these puppeteer-type characters. He has the Olimar, he has the Rosalina, and he's going to be using them to try and get that $3,000 first place.
Yep, as we take a look at the prize breakdown here from our 10K prize pool. First place going home with a good hunk of change, going home with a fat $3,000 as it breaks all the way down to 9th place. So, you know, definitely trickling all the way down, but obviously, you know, that first place is so coveted. You get that sweet first place prize money, as well as a cool trophy to go along with it as well. And like you mentioned, Dabuz is just one of those stalwarts. You know, I would not be surprised to see Dabuz make the run this weekend. You know, he plays like you mentioned, the puppeteer characters that are, you know, a little bit harder to chew, you know, a little bit harder to play, harder to execute. But when they're out firing on all cylinders, it feels almost unstoppable.
Harder to hit indeed as well. And also just thinking, I usually like to make this joke when it comes to prize pool overall. Usually I'll say it's a difference between a burger and a steak. This time everybody can get access to the steak. It's just, are you going to be the nice person to get everybody in the room to steak? And the answer is no, you're not. Everyone else didn't win that. That's for me. But Dabuz is that keep away machine. It's so hard to hit him. You're talking about Min, you're talking about Rosa, you're talking about Olimar. All of them overall have just such good stage control, especially from round start. He said this once, and it made me laugh. When Min starts the round winning neutral, the moment the game has begun, you are already at a disadvantage against Min because of how quickly she could get out there and smack you away with the Ram, or just jump away and make you disengage.
Yeah, you definitely have a great trifecta of characters, you know, if you're Dabuz. Down opposite him, though, Troya really made a splash in that game one. Obviously, the hero from Dragon Quest, a character near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite characters to watch in the game, and always has that X factor of you never really know. No two matches are going to be the same against heroes.
Yeah, which is actually why I'm going to give the floor to you on this one, because you are the hero player. Going up against these types of characters, sword characters have a good dish, right? They have the ability to kind of smack you away, but hero has a very interesting disadvantage. What are you going to do to approach these three characters against Dabuz? In my opinion, Dabuz, I could see him go with Olimar just as a way to kind of slow them down, but could also see the Rosa, because unless you're getting access to Warp, you're going to have a hard time getting off ledge.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's very doable with the character pool that Troya is, what that Dabuz is bringing to the table. You know, Troya is definitely, I think, going to have an okay time. It's just, as hero sometimes, when you're getting disadvantage, it stinks. But when when you have stage control, when you're able to control the pace of the game with, with Fireball, with side special, you know, there's there's games to be won here.
Yeah, I think half charge side special is going to be a big part of trying to deal with Luma if it's
That
out.
move's broke.
Yeah, that move is insanely good. It's a big part of what allows Hero to actually box with the zoner style characters. So if that doesn't work, I can see the